Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. Now after planting these lettuce out yesterday and putting the fleece over them, I thought I'm going to crack on and get some more things planted. Now here I've got 3 trays here of beetroot, and these were planted successionally so that I could get a succession of harvest. But when the first lot were ready to go in, the ground was either not ready or the weather wasn't ready. I didn't feel it was ready. So I'm left in this situation now where I'm just going to plot the whole lot in one big bed just over here behind me. Yeah, it's time to get moving on and getting things in the ground. And I've got some, these onions to go in. I've got loads of stuff, but we're going to crack on with these beetroot first. Okay, so I've got my trusty grid again and my dibber, and I've just put some holes in, and it's just a case of pulling these plants out if I can, chucking them in the hole, green side up. And thankfully these beetroots are green. But this variety is Boltardy, and these are multi-sown, as you can see. So later on, as they grow, you can come along and you can twist out the bigger ones and start eating them, leaving room for the others to grow on. And this is a great method, and we love beetroot. They're just such a good mainstay vegetable, easy to grow. What's not to like about them? And I'm probably going to fill most of this bed, and this bed is 4 foot wide, 16 foot long. So, yeah, we will give a lot away as well, and then we'll store some over the winter. And we don't just use them in salads. I really like beetroot roasted. So if we're having a roast dinner, for instance, I'll have a couple of less potatoes and have a couple of beetroot instead. So there we go, very quickly this bed will fill up and I can move on and plant something else. So I've got this bed in now, full of beetroots, 3 different types: Chioggia, Boltardy and Burpees Golden. I'll put the names in the description. So that's another bed sorted and more plants out. We'll see how they do. I have a feeling they're not going to do too well, and they're probably going to run to seed because a lot of them have been in the modules for far too long. But we'll give them a chance. We'll give them the bed space, and I'll start sowing some backups or some extra ones. I do anyway. So next up is multi-sown onions, and I'm putting these next to my elephant garlic here. And I've got 2 types. I've got Bedford and red Brunswick, and it's the same as what I've planted singularly in the bed up there the other day, just multi-sown. So they'll be a lot smaller than the singles, and they'll be almost for immediate use or for use through the autumn. The singles I like to store for later on through the winter. So there we go with these. Again, it's just the same thing. Take a plug out and chuck them in. And I think these first ones are the red Brunswick. So we'll just fill this area, and I'll put the Bedford a little bit further down the bed. And this will be another area filled and another job done, out of the way. I've been down to get planting for ages now, same as most people, and I just thought, well, I might as well just get them in and live with the consequences. onions are fairly hardy, so we should be all right. So are the beetroots that are planted. We'll just have to suck it and see how things go. I can protect plants forevermore. But just get them in the ground. Green side up as usual. Gotta get that in somewhere. And then let them get on with it. So there we go, I'll finish that little area off, then I'll move along there and put the Bedfords in. And again, just get these watered in. I have been watering these beds for a couple of days so that they're wet underneath, because obviously we've had a very, very dry and cold April. Now I believe this week the weather countrywide is set to get a bit wetter but a bit cold again. So if you've got tender plants and if you're putting them out, you know, your tomatoes, cucumbers, courgettes, squashes, all that sort of family, then beware of putting them out. And if you have already done it, make sure you fleece properly. So you've seen what happened to my Crimson Crush tomatoes. Okay, I'm getting some more onions in right now, and these are long red Florence. They're an Italian variety, torpedo shaped, sort of a purple colour, and just a little bit sweeter than the Zebrun shallot. But I like the Zebrun as well, but they haven't done so well for me this year, the Zebrun. So I've got the singles here, and I've also got a tray of multi-sown. So I'll get both lots in this bed along here. Lots of onions. Oh, that one's come apart. But these have done much better than the Zebrun, which I'm surprised about really. Normally it's the other way around. But I think we've worked out. I saw a post from Dan on Allotment Diary, and he's had the same issue that I've had this year. Just that they haven't done very well, the Zebrun shallots, and kind of worked out from what he said there that I'm guessing the Zebrun just won't go down to the temperatures that perhaps other onions will. They're a little bit more tender. So it's something to be aware of for future years. I'll keep them a bit more protected next year. I know he's re-sown. It'd be interesting to see how his do, because it's quite late for them really. It's always interesting to see what other gardeners do and how they overcome problems. I mean, I'm tempted to do that already myself, but I'm not. I've got so much sowing to do anyway, and I think I've got enough onions. Well, I think I'll manage. So I've managed to get quite a bit of planting done today. In this bed is all the long red Florence. The last 2 rows next to this garlic here is just a couple of leeks just to fill it up. This is going to be the carrot bed. I'll sow that tomorrow. And there's onions here that I sowed last week. Fill this bed with beetroot, and the little space in between the elephant garlic and the leeks on the end. Some more multi-sown onions. Bedford, I think they are, Bedfordshire Champion. And then multi-sown Brunswick, the red ones. These were planted yesterday. These are all the lettuces. There we go. So I'm quite pleased with what I've managed to get done today. So that's it for today. We're getting on with more planting again tomorrow. Carrots next on the bill. Lots of tips and info on the carrots to come, so do tune in for that one. But that's it. Look after yourselves, please stay safe. I'll see you very, very soon. Ta-ra now.